Yes, folks, it's John G. Sutton, Tales from the Jails. I'm going to talk a little bit today about HM Prison Birmingham, originally known as HMP Winson Green. You'll know that's in the Midlands, yeah, it serves the Midlands. It was built in 1849. Now you'll notice I've been talking about some of these old Victorian prisons, and they were all built round about the same time, within about 20 years. We've got places like Wormwood Scrubs, Strangeways built in 1868, Pentonville, Wandsworth, Armley. And if you look at them, you have a look at these prisons, they all have that rather sinister appearance of intimidation that comes out of them. They look like castles, ancient Gothic relics, yeah. Except they weren't. They were built to intimidate the working class. That's why they were there, and that's why they're still there today. You either do what you're told, or you get banged up. That was basically the ethic. I mean, what is the point? What is the point? Please tell me. Come on, somebody out there, you can hear me. Yeah, what's the point in locking up a 70-year-old man who's walking his dog in the park because he's broken some invented regulation that's put down by the local authority? Don't think it didn't happen. It did happen. I was there at Strangeways. He was imprisoned for walking his dog in Burnley Park, and he got 7 days imprisonment, and he was determined not to pay the fine that the magistrates had imposed because he said it was an infringement upon his civil liberties. He'd been walking his dogs, or various dogs, in that park for the last 50 years. And why should they suddenly become a criminal offence? He was locked into Strangeways prison. You can imagine how that would help, yeah? And he was supposedly going to serve 7 days. He managed, I think it was 2 days, because the staff were barking at him. He was degraded. His spirit was broken, and they did that. Why did they do it? Because in this country, you do what you're told. I mean, I know that we here in what we call civilization decry the brutality of regimes such as Iran and Qatar, and where they are intolerant of LGBT rights. But we aren't too tolerant in this country, are we? We've got people who are in prison for not paying your television licence. Now, I'm an Englishman, born and bred. My DNA is 99.99% British. English British, yeah, from the northwest of England. My ancestors go back in time to the Battle of Waterloo, and beyond that to Agincourt. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the role model for Emily Bronte's Heathcliff. Don't believe me? Have a look. Richard Sutton. Yeah, some research by professors of English literature, because the Bronte sisters took their inspiration from local characters, and one particular local character was Richard Sutton, who was came from nowhere, but he was eventually ended up as the biggest farm holder in the area around Yorkshire where he lived, the town of Dent, and his tomb is in the churchyard there. You can see it. It says on the tomb, Richard Sutton West House, because he owned the mansion house. And in the church, you'll see there's plaques on the wall to all our friends in Jamaica, because he and his family owned a plantation, and they owned 2 ships. One was called SS Dent, the other one was SS Pickering, and these were slave ships. And I mean, we're going back into the 18th century, but that's what they did. I mean, I'm an Englishman, yeah, I don't believe in slavery at all, but how far away are we? when this government in the 21st century can imprison an Englishman like me for not paying a TV license. And what does that TV license get me? I think it's, is it called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? Where they're paying £500,000, I don't know who's doing it, yeah, to a man called, what's his name? Dowd, I think his name is, yeah. He poses as a pop star calling himself Boy George. He's actually a convicted offender who ties people, rent boys, he gets rent boys and tortures them. That's his idea of fun, and that's what we're watching on our televisions now. Isn't that enlightening? I feel pleased to be an Englishman. Yeah, you've got to pay your television license to watch that. Or if you don't, yeah, welcome to Wormwood Scrubs, Strangeways, Armley Jail, Pentonville, Wandsworth, or HMP Birmingham. Now, HMP Birmingham was used as a site for executions, 35 executions there. Yeah, the last one in, I think it was 1964, yeah. Famous inmates include Michael Collins, who was part of the Easter Rising in Ireland. Yeah, he was one of the leaders of the independent Irish Republican Army. Also, we got one of the another prime example to us all, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I mean, entertainment, you know. I mean, he was the lead singer of, what was it, Black Sabbath, yeah, where he bites heads off bats and stuff like that. I mean, that's entertainment, folks, isn't it? We can pay for that, yeah, or go to prison if we don't want to pay for it. There was originally it was run by HM Prison Service. It is again today. But in the year 2011, it was handed over, believe it or not, to G4S, a private company who is in it to make profit, not for the service to mankind, not to represent the people of Great Britain, no, to represent the shareholders, to make profit out of prisoners. Who on earth thought that up? How disgraceful is that? So from 2011 to 2018, HMP Birmingham, or Winson Green, was run by a private company called G4S. And in 2016, they managed to get a riot there. The reasons given were excessive drugs, overcrowding, lockdown for 23 hours a day, locked up in the cells 23 hours a day, poor conditions, insanitary, cockroaches, no clothing. G4S. Yeah, why? Well, it doesn't make a profit, does it? It's got to make profit. It's a private company, and they're making profit off prisoners. And who are these prisoners? Let me tell you who they are. I know who they are because I work with them. It's you and me. There but for fortune go you or I, as John Bias said. And seriously, it is no joke. It could be your brother, it could be your father, it could be your uncle, it could be your mother or your sister, locked up in one of these prisons for the benefit of the shareholders of G4S or any other company that manages to get a bid, because they're selling us off. And they still got these Victorian dumps. Why are we putting people into prison for petty offences? Who does that help? It doesn't help society. It certainly doesn't help the poor bastards that are banged up in there. Anyway, that's my rant today about prisons. I hope you watch my broadcast this evening with Sean Atwood. It went wrong last night, I believe. It just stopped at the beginning, but I'll put a link down below. You can link on that, and I think it goes out at 6 o'clock. I'm now going to, by special request actually, I think this is Larry the Lamb from Rotherham, who has requested this. He put some comments below, usually derogatory comments. At least he hasn't called me an ugly, bald-headed old bastard yet, but we'll get there, folks. This is especially for Larry the Lamb. This is my murderation of Jerusalem, famous hymn that we sing. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go now. Are you all sitting comfortably? Well, allow me to disturb your peace. And did those fade in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? And was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen? And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills? And was Jerusalem builded here among those dark satanic mills? Bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me my arrows of desire, bring me my spear, O clouds unfold, bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land. Jerusalem by William Blake. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed that, folks. If you have, I'll see you on the sick parade tomorrow. Don't forget to watch my interview with Sean Atwood. Hey, and get my book. It's on Amazon.